Last night I drove all the way to Clinton, Ontario. It was about a 2-hour, 30-minute drive from my house. Things did not really go as well as I wanted. I passed tech. I missed one thing in the rules. Last year these bumpers were allowed to be 60 inches long. This year they only want 4 inches outside the frame rail. So that was a pretty easy fix. But I passed tech, went into the ring, everything was going good, shut the car off, waited for the derby to start. Derby started, I went. Everything was good. I made one hit, that's it. And all of a sudden, car died. It had no power and then it died. I quickly disconnected one line. I found out that it was my fuel pump, so I held the positive to the starter. The positive to the fuel pump to the starter. I got the car running again, looked up, and they had me black flagged. It was the quickest count of my life. I legitimately think that count was like 25, maybe 35 seconds, that's it. Whenever I hit somebody, I count inside my head. I keep a mental note, and so that way I know how I'm doing, right? I got black flagged the fastest I've ever been black flagged in my life. But it happens. I took the official aside at the end and said, I don't know how fast you count, but that was the fastest count I've ever got. He didn't really seem too happy me talking to him like that, but what do you expect? Oh well. But other than that, the car drove out of the ring. I'm still pretty upset. I smashed my elbow really hard off that gas tank. I mean really hard. So I'm never ever mounting the gas tank that close to the passenger compartment again. It's going to go back farther. But I figured that I'd mount it that far forward because it keeps it nice and stable and safe. But nope, going to be moved back. There's no real damage to the car other than the rad support. But I did find out one thing. Ford Fusions are a lot tougher than what I thought they were going to be. This is all done. All this is done by a Ford Fusion. He even bent these tabs. These tabs are 3/8 of an inch thick, and he bent those. So kudos to that Ford Fusion, and how I just want to buy one that much more. He didn't really last much longer than this, but, well, he hit me like 4 times, but he didn't really last much longer than what the damage he caused here. But I will say it right now, though, that Fusion impressed me. So I have to find myself a Ford Fusion coming up, that's for sure. Car is in still really good shape. I just got to make some clearances by the back tires, get some sheet metal away. But other than that, everything's going pretty good. But I'm still pretty upset with how this went last night. My elbow's sore. I wasted 300 kilometers worth of fuel to drive there, entry fee to make one hit and the car died. But you know what? Sometimes that happens. And sometimes you can't really fix it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unhook everything. I'm going to drive the car off the trailer. And then I'm going to pull the car up to the trailer so that the trailer's against the bumper. And then I'll winch all that straight again, just with my winch. And then I'll open the hood, and then I think I lost the rad. I seen some water coming out of it last night. Wouldn't really surprise me if the rad's busted out of it. But we're going to get this thing straight. I have another derby tonight. Now I'm not sure if I'm taking this car or if I'm taking Newcomb, but with how this thing let me down, I want to do a little bit more investigation into it before I redo this one. So I think we're going to load up Newcomb. Oh well, not the way you want one of the new second or third derby of the year to go, but it happened. Can't do much about it. Congratulations to the winner, though. He put on a pretty good show. Another very well built Camry. But I was happy to see how that Ford Fusion did. That was one of the main reasons I drove that far, was to watch that Fusion. And I was actually pretty impressed. So you guys might be seeing a Ford Fusion come up on this channel if I'm able to find one at a reasonable price. So we now have the car off the trailer with the bumper against the trailer and the winch hooked up. Let's try to pull these straight. We're going to pull the driver's side straight and then the passenger side, and then try to pull out the rad support. I've never ever seen seat belts rip like that before. The hole's not that sharp either, so I don't know how it did it. It must have, like, the car must have really hit this. You can see it all cleaned off. But let's get this thing straight and see how she goes. We have Nukem all fixed up, but I'm a little worried with that fuel tank turning off with a hit. So we have this car sitting here. You guys know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit it and see if this thing turns off again. So Infected is ready for its next demolition derby. The first one was a little bit of a letdown. I kind of cut the hood back, but I really hope the next one goes much better than what the first one did. But, you know what? Live and learn. And a lot of you guys have been telling me that I should have creased this car. And you know what? I should have. The problem was this car was actually built to run somewhere else. And there's not much you can do about that. Just try to prepare for the demolition derbies as best as you can. Get ready. And then if it doesn't work out, just try to patch it together to run somewhere else. Just like the reason why I put the different bumper on and I put the extra threaded rods in the hood. I planned to take it somewhere else. I built it to somebody else's rules. And then I could not make it there, so just had to throw it together to run somewhere else. Yes, the car would have done much better with some creasing and a dish trunk, but realistically, I did what I did because that's all I had. Oh, look at that. I could tighten those down quite a bit more. Well, I guess I'll have to put some extra work into this before it goes somewhere next. I still haven't really figured out what happened to the fuel tank. I'm just going to make sure all my connections are good next time for electrical. I thought the toggle switch died, but now the toggle switch is working. I'd really hate to drive this to another demolition derby and it'd be let down. I'd really hate for that to happen. But, oh well. She is what she is. She's a running, driving Solara. That's got the front end kind of messed up in it a bit, but she's been pulled out as best as she can. No, she ain't gonna open for me right now with one hand, but whatever. On to the next derby with this car. Where's it going to run? As of right now, I have no idea. So, stay tuned, guys, and we'll get this car smashed up too. Don't you worry. I do love those tires. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you back here tomorrow.